friends, this video on nuclei part 13 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 12 before going ahead with part 13. Now let us try to solve some problems based on whatever we studied in this section, that is some problems related to half-life, mean life and radioactive decay. So the first problem says a radioactive isotope has a half-life of T years. How long will it take the activity to reduce to 3.125% of its original value? So let us look at it. So it says that the half-life of the sample is T years. Okay. What was the original value? Let us assume that the original value was N0. Let us also assume that after decay, it becomes N. Okay, so now let us try to first solve the first part of the problem. It says that it should, how much time it will take for its activity to reduce to 3.125%. That means N should be equal to 3.125% of N0, right? That means N divided by N0 should be equal to 3.125 divided by 100. That is equal to 1 by 32. So now let us make use of the law of radioactive decay. So from the law of radioactive decay, we know that N is equal to N0 e to the power minus lambda T, or we can say N by N0 is equal to e to the power minus lambda T. So from this we can say, we take natural log on both sides, we can say ln N by N0 is equal to minus lambda T. So now we put this value of N by N0 as 1 by 32. So when we put this value of N by N0, we get ln of 1 by 32 is equal to minus lambda T. Or we can say ln 1 minus ln 32 is equal to minus lambda T. So ln 1 is equal to 0. So this will be equal to minus ln 32 is equal to minus lambda T. So this minus will get cancelled. So from this we can say T is equal to ln 32 is 3.4657 divided by lambda. Now since we know that half-life, that is T half, is given as 0.693 by lambda, and we know that T half in this question is given as capital T. So from this we can say that lambda is equal to 0.693 divided by capital T. So we will put this value of lambda in this equation. So if we put this value of lambda in this equation, then what do we get? We get T is equal to 3.4657 divided by 0.693 into T. So this comes out to be 5T years. So that means after a time period of 5T years, the activity of the sample will reduce to 3.125% of its original value. Now similarly in the second half it says that the percentage should be 1%. That means in the second half N divided by N0 will be equal to 1 by 100. So that is the only difference that will be there. Otherwise everything will remain the same. So I leave the second part for you to solve so that you can also have a practice on how to solve such questions. So now let us go ahead and look at the next problem. It says that obtain the amount of cobalt-60 necessary to provide a radioactive source of 8 millicurie strength. The half-life of cobalt-60 is 5.3 years. So what are the values given here? Half-life is given as 5.3 years. What else is given here? The strength is given here. What is the strength? I mentioned before also. Strength is nothing but the rate of decay. So strength will be nothing but dN by dt. Because it is talking about the radioactive source strength and which is measured in Curie. So it is basically talking about the activity of the sample. So strength is equal to dN by dt, that is equal to 8 millicurie. So we can convert this 8 millicurie into the SI unit, that is becquerel. So this will be 8 into, since it is also has milli, so it will be 10 to the power minus 3 into curie is 3.7 into 10 to the power 10 becquerels per 10 becquerels, or you can also write it as these many decays per second. Right? Now let us make use of the law of radioactivity. The law says that the rate of decay is always proportional to the initial number of nuclei in the sample. Right? So from this you can see that because it is asking the amount necessary, so that means you will have to calculate this n. So this n will be equal to 1 by lambda dN by dt. So this lambda can be written as 0.693 divided by t half, that is half-life, into dN by dt. So now we can put the values here. So we get 0.693 divided by t half, that is half-life, which will be 5.3 years. So you convert it into seconds. So this will be 5.3 into 365, because 1 year has 365 days, 1 day has 24 hours, 1 hour has 60 minutes, and 1 minute has 60 seconds. So this much seconds. So this will be 5.3 into 365 into 24 into 60 into 60. This into dN by dt, that is 8 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 3.7 into 10 to the power 10. So n comes out to be 7.133 into 10 to the power 16 atoms. So these many atoms of cobalt 60 is required, but it is asking us to calculate the amount. That means you have to calculate the mass of these many atoms of cobalt. Right? Now for cobalt, how many atoms are present in 60 grams of cobalt? In 60 grams of cobalt, you have 60 grams of cobalt, because the mass number is 60. So the 60 grams of cobalt consist of 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. This is the Avogadro's number. That is the number of atoms present in 1 mole of cobalt. You would have studied all these concepts in your chemistry. So 60 grams of cobalt consists of 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. So you have to calculate what would be the mass of these many atoms of cobalt. So we can say that 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. Mass of these many atoms is 60 grams. Therefore, mass of 7.133 into 10 to the power 16 atoms would be how much? It would be 60 divided by 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 multiplied by 7.133 into 10 to the power 16. So it comes out to be 7.106 into 10 to the power minus 6 grams. So this would be the amount of cobalt necessary to provide this much of radioactive strength. Right? Okay. So now let us go ahead and look at the third problem. It says that the half-life of strontium is 28 years. So what is the disintegration rate of 15 milligrams of this isotope? So what do we have? We have T half as 28 years. Right? So convert it into second, you get 28 into 365 into 24 into 60 into 60 seconds. So this would be the half-life. Now we have to calculate the disintegration rate. That means the rate of decay. So dN by dt is to be calculated, and the mass of this isotope is given as 15 grams. If you look at this problem, it is just the reverse of whatever we did in problem number 2. So here the mass is given as 15 milligrams. Now for the strontium, if you see, the mass number is 90. So we can say that 90 grams of strontium consists of how many atoms? 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. So how many atoms will be present in 15 grams of strontium? It will be 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 divided by 90 into 15 milligrams. So 15 into 10 to the power minus 3. So it comes out to be 1.0038 into 10 to the power 20 atoms. So we have to calculate the disintegration rate. That means we have to calculate dN by dt when we know that N is equal to this much. So we have calculated N is equal to 1.0038 into 10 to the power 20 atoms. Now from the law of radioactive decay, so from the law of decay we know that dN by dt is equal to lambda n. In many other cases I have not mentioned the negative sign because that negative sign just shows that the number of nuclei is decreasing with time. So it has nothing to do with the magnitude as such. So from this we can say dN by dt is equal to lambda. So what is lambda? 0.693 divided by T half into N. So let us put the values now. 0.693 into N, that is 1.0038 into 10 to the power 20 divided by T half, which is 28 into 365 into 24 into 60 into 60. So this comes out to be 7.878 into 10 to the power 10 atoms per second. So this would be the disintegration rate or the decay rate of this sample. So now I guess solving these problems would have given you some idea on half-life and average life and also the law of radioactive decay and how to apply them to solve problems. So now let us go ahead and start with the next topic, that is the types of radioactive decay. I mentioned in one of the previous slides that there are 3 ways by which radioactivity can take place, or an unstable nuclide can decay by 3 ways, that is the alpha decay, beta decay and gamma decay. So now I will discuss each of these decays in detail.
Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.